Hey everyone, I'm Mecca here for my self-publishing blueprint, and I am sitting down again with Miles Beckler from milesbeckler.com, and we are going to talk all about Kindle publishing today. Miles has been using Kindle publishing to help drive traffic to his other businesses for a number of years now, and he was telling me some concepts that I even hadn't been thinking about. So I was like, man, you got to come back on the channel, you got to share your knowledge, and you just got to blow some more minds here. So Miles, welcome back to the channel, man.
Cheers, man. Happy to be here. And Kindle is an extremely valuable kind of marketing channel for our business. So I'm really excited to share how we use that.
Sweet. Let's dive into it, because we were talking just before off camera here. It's not the front end. It's not making money on the front end that you're doing. It's all back end for you and your wife, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And like, if you think about what Amazon is, Amazon's a search engine, right? Some people think it's an e-commerce situation. It's not. It's a search engine, and it's the only search engine in the world that when people are searching it, their credit card is really close to their hands. Like, everyone expects to buy when they find that thing they're searching for on Amazon. And one of our philosophies is that our content has to show up everywhere. Right? If you search in the podcast app, you need to find us. If you search on Google, you need to find us. If you search on YouTube, you need to find us. Well, Amazon was one kind of at one point in 2012, it got to that point where Amazon was that next gigantic search engine that has millions and millions of people searching it, and we weren't showing up. So Kindle books was our entrance point into how to get my wife's brand, our content. We're in the kind of angel meditation space, angel messages space. So when people search angel messages, which is a big keyword phrase for us, I had to make sure we showed up. So Kindle books was our entrance point to that.
Sweet. So when exactly did you start using Amazon? Was it?
So as a publisher, so it was right around Thanksgiving of 2012. So this is kind of like, it was Wild West. The free and the paid were all mashed up into one category.
Yeah.
You gave away enough free books, you actually would gain your way to the top of the paid, because it was all in one category.
It was all one, yeah.
Yeah. So since then they've separated that out, and we have one book that's forever free, because I do like showing up on the free, and then we do a lot of like low price ones, and I do like their countdown game. We use the countdown when we can remember to turn it on.
Right. Okay, so let's touch on a couple different things. Why don't we start with your free book?
Yep.
So let's talk about, why would you want to have a permanently free book on Amazon? How can you actually monetize that? How do you and your wife monetize that? How do you make the book permanently free on Amazon? And then maybe anything else that I might have just been missing, or I might not know about having a permanent free book on Amazon.
Totally. So like, the Kindle ecosystem works because of Kindle devices, right? Like, yeah, there's an app on the phone, and some people use the app. I definitely actually do use the app, but I think most people, like, you get a Kindle as a gift, or you buy a Kindle because you're a reader, and then you have this thing. And this thing is a proverbial library. You can literally fill it up with an amount of books that you'll absolutely never read, which is what, like, the first thing people do. So what do? They go, look, how can I fill this thing up? Because I have this new toy, I have this new device, and I want to feel like it's got a lot on there. And they don't necessarily want to go drop 20, 30, 50 bucks. They're not necessarily joining the Kindle Unlimited program at this point. So they're just going to browse around for free stuff on topics they find interesting. So I wanted to make sure we show up there. I wanted to make sure we were one of the only ones, because our main competition is actual publisher-based people. There's a major publishing company out of Southern California that's huge in our space. So they don't ever think about being forever free. So it's a way for us to stand out in this little niche within a niche, right? It's our main niche. It's the Angels niche, but then it's free side of the Angels niche. So that's how we stand out there. To accomplish this is actually kind of goofy. So we got the book up on Amazon, and it was a 99-cent book. And then we put it up on Smashwords for free. And then you have to go in to the actual Amazon listing, and there's a button. I forget the exact words, but it's like, I found this for a lower price. They're on the listing page. So you find I found this for a lower price, and you go report your own book as being cheaper somewhere else. Well, Amazon doesn't let you price below 99 cents. And at some point, I think it took a few weeks. I think we went through that process from a few Amazon accounts. I hit up my mom, like, Mom, go do this. And I like walked her through the process. And eventually we just got a notice, like, Amazon, we found your book for cheaper somewhere else. It was free on Apple Books. I don't know where we put it up for free. And then Amazon just flipped it over to free. And at that point it was free, and it's been free forever. And that's really one of our, it's like a lost leader. And really the whole Kindle area for us is a lost leader. I want to put a caveat on here of how we create our books. Our books are repurposed content. So
Okay.
the words in the books are from audio messages we sell as our main products. We sell digital downloadable MP3s is our real business. So it's a way for us to take our productized items that we're offering for sale direct from our website to consumer. We
Hmm.
have those transcribed, copy edited, and that's actually the content within the books. We kind of group them together. So it's like it's a byproduct for us. We've already made our money on that content. So we're not like going negative out of pocket. We're finding things we can repurpose to get forever free because you don't need to be in KDP. It doesn't matter if it's published elsewhere. So you're
Yeah,
within their terms of service in that situation.
that is interesting.
Yep.
Okay. So we know how to make a permanent free book now.
Yep.
Let's talk about how do you monetize it? Why would somebody
Yeah.
want to have that permanent free book?
So again, Amazon is filled with potential customers, right? Like people are looking to spend money. Now, my
Yeah.
wife and I, we sell products. We have a membership program. We sell information-based products.
Okay.
And the question is always, how do you get new potential customers that have a high likelihood of buying things to your website, to your
Right.
funnels per se, right? Like it's the idea of a
Hmm.
funnel. So on our website, we have a free item that we give away. It's a free MP3 angel message. So if somebody
Okay.
reads an angel book and they're interested, they're like, wow, this is really cool. I really like where this is going. They feel the vibe. They're just
Yeah.
into it. And then they get a little message inside of the book that says, hey, you want a free audio version of this? Go here. And we send them to a landing page that is essentially, we call it a squeeze page or an opt-in page, where
Yep.
the user, it's just 15 words maybe, and it says, hey, get a free angel message. Click the button below. They click the button, it pops up and says, hey, enter your email address and we'll send it to your email. At that point, they're in our funnel. We do things like one-time offers, one-click upsells. We do email marketing. We have a membership that we eventually promote to them. And so there's a lot of potential monetization on the back end. But the ultimate goal
Hmm.
is, how do we get this Amazon customer? How do we get this Amazon user
Hmm.
into an asset we own? How do I get them on my email list so I can own the relationship? Because Amazon owns the relationship, right?
Yes.
We can't go email all of our past customers. We can go modify our book and publish a new modified book, and Amazon will notify everyone who has that book on the Kindle that an update is available. But that's not the same as me
No.
saying, hey, I got this new product. You want to buy it for $17? I need to
Right.
get that relationship. So my whole goal is list building, essentially.
Okay. I gotta ask you a question here
Yeah.
because I literally just filmed a video. I think it went up earlier this week, and it was ClickFunnels, but how I
Okay.
use ClickFunnels to sell to my people who opt in for my free lead magnet, and then I sell them bundles of my books that I just fulfill, my assistant fulfills myself, but I'm able to price them lower than Amazon,
Yep.
but my profits are higher because I've cut Amazon out.
Right.
So you're doing the same type of thing. Your customer opts in for their free audio, whatever it is,
Yep.
and then you just hammer them with a couple upsells, a couple one-time offers to help to monetize them from that free lead magnet. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So I would use a
Totally.
different verb from hammer.
Well, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
No. I
Just,
get it. I get it.
you
And my
smash
wife
them
says
with
that to me all the time because I use the word spam very, very.
right. Yeah, but you're
Spam
selling.
everybody. Yeah,
You give
exactly.
them an opportunity
Exactly.
to
100%.
purchase products right then and there because they're now in your funnel,
Yep.
and a certain percentage of them always buy,
Yep.
which equals dollars in your pocket you never would have got if you didn't give them that offer.
Right. And what happens when you get this
Nice.
really dialed in, you can actually start to run Amazon ads. So you can advertise on Amazon for your books that have your calls to action that bring them back to your list.
Yeah,
And then you make money on the back end personally from your website, from your
totally.
funnel, and you pump that money back into Amazon to reach more Amazon people. And you can create this little system where, right, it becomes a self. So as you
Jeez.
sell more, you make more. As you make more, you put more into ads. And that's how you scale a business. It's exactly what I do on
Oh
Facebook.
my God. I didn't even think about that.
Yes.
Like that right there, man. Like this is
Yep.
what I've been trying to teach more of my students.
Right.
Right. I don't want, like, when people join my program, I don't want them to become Kindle publishers. I want them to become proper internet marketers
Right.
who understand the process. So, oh man.
And
Oh,
one thing, so just if I can,
yeah.
you're selling your books in a bundle format, which is great, right? So
Mhm.
McDonald's in the US, would you like to supersize that, right? I want
Totally.
this, I want that. Do you want more? Yes, it's an
Yes.
easy upsell. So
Mhm.
what my wife and I do is we sell the content in a different format. right? So if you think, like you mentioned ClickFunnels,
Genius.
ClickFunnels is
Yeah.
run by Russell Brunson. Russell
Yeah.
Brunson has a book. It's somewhere, it's not right next to me. So he's got there, yeah, literally that book. It's a great book. So anyways, and buy it off Amazon so you don't see his funnel because he's got
Yeah.
ridiculous upsells. But anyway,
Yeah.
I've been to his live events. And in
Yeah.
his live events, we spent $700,000 to go to this live event, flew across the country, out of pocket $5,000. He's teaching the exact same thing as in the book. He even commented at one point, he's like, I don't get it. My wife was like, I'm done with this dude at that point. She was like, I don't get it. I'm teaching you the exact same information that's in my book. You could buy it, you could read it at home. And for some reason, you guys are willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to come here to experience the content in a different format, in a different event. That
It's
turned my
marketing.
wife off to get that harsh truth. But what it really did for me in one sense was it really clicked is that people
Oh,
are willing
man.
to pay more to get that information in a different format. So let's say you're putting out a bunch of books on cryptocurrencies, for example, right?
Yeah.
And you're writing a book on here's what Bitcoin is, here's what Ripple is, and you're doing these short, easy books so people can consume. Well, maybe your product is a video training series where you show them how to buy it, how to update. Right. So it's like, what's that? And that would be the would you like fries with that upsell? It's the complimentary thing. They're in there to buy the hamburger. I'm back to a McDonald's reference if someone didn't catch up. So they're there to buy the
Yeah.
hamburger. Would you like fries with that? Would you like a Coke with that? And those are the upsells that are complimentary to the book that'll take it further. And I feel like that's what my wife and I do with the audio because they read it, they love the message. Do you want to experience this in an audio format? And another thing we do real quick, since I'm kind of on a
Yeah.
roll,
Go for it.
we put our call to action for our funnel at the beginning of our book, right around our table of contents, because when they use the look inside feature, you can
They can
usually see that page if it's right around the table of contents, because the table of contents is usually one of the ones they always put in. So it's like people don't even have to buy our books to see that
Totally.
free offer, and they could go look inside and be like, oh, a free message at that URL. Let me just hop on my phone real quick. Boop, 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 right? And they
Totally.
go and they can enter our funnel without even buying, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, that's such an important thing that all publishers should be doing.
Right.
Right. Because
and at the end of the book and at the end of
totally.
chapter, and when it's relevant, like don't slip on getting your message for you have free valuable stuff elsewhere for them.
So same content, different form.
Yep. Different form, repurposing it.
Different.
And that's so like it's just like I do YouTube videos. I make sure that audio goes onto the podcast. I make sure the transcription goes onto my blog. It's like getting the most out of everything you're doing, right? You're spending so much time and energy researching a book. You have even if you hire a ghostwriter to do all the work, like you have that core, that asset, you paid for that thing, like absolutely maximize your reach on Amazon. But what else can you do with that to make sure that $300, $600, $1,500 you invested in that content can make money on the back end in other ways and turn into other Pinterest pins. I don't know, all over the place.
Man, wow. That just like the wheels are turning. And, going back to the whole, like, okay, you got a book on cryptocurrency, repurposing the content. I'm pretty sure you could invest in like 5 gig or whatever for somebody to take your book and then create a video, a PowerPoint, mini course on cryptocurrency that you could probably sell for 47, 67, whatever dollars to the readers that just bought the book, and you're just repurposing that content. But now, instead of making the $3 or the nothing from the free book, you're now making, $40, $50, $60.
Right. Perceived value of information is crazy, right? And like
Jeez.
when you people look at books, and that's why a lot of internet marketers will sell like video courses, modulated courses, because the perceived value of a video course is higher than the perceived value of an audio course. The perceived value of an audio course is greater than the perceived value of a book. Look at the price of a book in Kindle, digital, print, and then look at it on the Audible. Yeah. Generally, the Audible's $24.99. You rarely see a print book for $24.99. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, right? It's often, it's just that perceived value. And some people like learning in different methods. Not everybody likes to read. Some people like the kinesthetic learning, the watching, they learn differently. So it's good to kind of meet those learning styles.
That's interesting, man. I've talked to people about this, and it's like I got the publishing course, the Blueprint. I've had people watch all my videos and make money online just using my YouTube videos.
Nice.
Right? I have like my free book. And essentially what this was is just version 1 of my course when it first came out.
Right.
But why do people get the video course? There's more info in the video course, but it is the same type of information.
Right. An ambitious individual could kind of figure it out, but I think you also have a
You're right.
community too, right?
And that's yeah.
Bingo. That's something that's an intangible. The ability to ask you questions, the ability to ask the community
You're right.
questions, and to be around peers who are all doing the same thing. That's actually probably one of the biggest values that you're bringing
Yeah.
to the table, perceived value. And that's that whole idea. Like, you're not actually creating anything new. It's the same sort of information, but you've found a way to add something else on. A lot of people do coaching. A lot of people use books to, like, they say a print book is the new business card, right? Because they're actually
Right.
selling coaching, they're selling consulting, a lot of high-end consultants. Gary Vaynerchuk, like, his books sell his VaynerMedia services to multi-million-dollar businesses.
Yeah.
And these CEOs, they'll read his book in an afternoon, they'll watch a couple of it, they're like, all right, this dude's real deal.
This
Let's
guy's
hire him. $60,000 a month contract, $150,000 a month contract from the book.
From the
like,
book.
making no money on the book. Like, the book's nothing to him.
Yeah.
The book is his way of connecting to that busy executive who's taking an afternoon by the pool on their trip to the Bahamas to consume Gary's idea. So Gary, and that's ultimately selling VaynerMedia services on the back end.
Man.
Big time. It's big time. And it's been that way for a long time. Like, have you heard of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich book?
Yes, of
Did
course.
you know that was actually kind of like a lost leader to sell his 16 Keys of Success home study course? That was 16 pamphlets delivered over the course of 16 weeks that cost like hundreds, like in today's value was like $1,000 course. The Think and Grow Rich book was just a lost leader front-end idea to give them the basics of the idea, and then he followed up with a sales letter. And it was ultimately a long sales letter to sell his 16 secrets.
I love this stuff, man. Like, I just love it. It's just, it's a game.
Yep.
Right.
And with that said, I think there's so much value in being a Kindle publisher and going all in on Kindle and like mastering one thing. And like, I think you could create a great lifestyle income doing the Kindle books, but with just a little bit of like next level thinking, you could probably rearrange things to seriously maximize.
Right. Because in all honesty, I really believe, and we're talking mostly about nonfiction. I know fiction's a completely different ballgame in terms of income potential, yada, yada, yada. Nonfiction, $10,000 to $15,000 a month is really where it starts maxing out, providing you're using, like, you're not trying to game the system or anything like that, right?
Right.
But the back end of what you can do, that's where you can compete with the income level fiction publishers make, if that makes sense. But you have to do it on the back end.
Right. Totally. You got to control that flow, and you got to be able to control the sales pages. You got to be able to control the environment, the conversation, the relationship, and all that happens through the email list and the funnel.
It's funny. I was talking to my mastermind. I'm in a little mastermind with a couple of buddies, and we were just talking about this, how to make money on the back end with Kindle publishers. Most nonfiction publishers just don't do it. Whether it's they don't understand it, they don't want to do it because it's too much work, or they're just not sold on the thing. In fact, those of you watching, what's your reason for not doing anything with your back end, not monetizing your back end? Let me know what's stopping you, so I can comment, so I can start doing videos and showing you what to do. Because so my course used to be on Clickbank. Stopped that 3 months ago. Not a fan. But my Kindle manager who helps run my business, when we got into this new niche, I was like, okay, let's pick a niche, but let's pick the niche based on Clickbank products we can sell them.
Smart.
We set it up. We have 3 emails that go out that sell them the product. Okay. And I totally forgot we had done this because he does all of that, and that's that. I started getting paychecks every single week from Clickbank. And when I last looked at Clickbank, like the week after I took my course off, it was like negative $150, just, some refunds. And then all of a sudden I started getting like 40, 50, I think last week it was like $60 odd. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I didn't think about it until I had my call with my masterminds and we were talking about this. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is actually working. And I totally forgot I'd set it up. But people are buying my book on Amazon. They're onto the email list. Then I'm just promoting I don't even know what product he has promoted, but it's promoting, and Clickbank's sending me a check because people are actually buying the product.
Right, because it's relevant. It's
relevant. It's that freaking easy. Like, I have no clue what's going on with it, but it's making money. It's literally that easy. You just set up the emails and you're good to go.
Right. And then through testing, you can optimize the process and when you
Totally. Yeah,
measure,
I could.
like, but you just proved that it's workable. What you did is you started with the end in mind, right? And you had a
Right.
bigger vision for the multiple steps. They say great chess players are always thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead.
Mhm.
But like a lot of people are like, they're working a full-time job. They're dreaming of building money
Yeah.
online. All they can think about is step 1. And
Yeah.
like that, I think this whole conversation we're having here is like, do step 1. Totally go for it. Get it
Yeah.
going, get the hustle, get the proof, get your first money from Amazon. That makes it real. But know that there are massive other levels that can really help you become an expert in a niche that can kind of help you do a lot of different things. And speaking of, it's funny, I'm at a point now, I'm like, man, I need to get me a ghostwriter to take all my ideas that I have out on my videos. I got 350 plus videos teaching everything about internet marketing.
Right.
I got 4 or 5 Kindle books ready to go.
Totally.
And all these people who want to find how to run Facebook ads, how to run a funnel, how to do SEO, like that are searching Amazon for that, Miles Beckler just doesn't show up, period. And so this is a huge missing opportunity for me. So even somebody like myself who's been doing, I've been full-time online for 8+ years, right? Like doing pretty damn well with this game.
Yeah.
Like even I'm like slipping in many senses. So
Right.
this is the natural, logical process. But I think what kind of one thing I'm doing is I'm building out my back end first. I'm going to get that back end dialed in, get my membership program going, get all that built first. And then it makes sense for me to go attract new customers, new visitors, new eyeballs from Amazon, people who aren't finding me on Google and YouTube, et cetera.
Love it, man. Love it. Love it. Back in video. Okay. That is cool. What else? Okay. So I think we've hammered home how to get the free book, how to monetize the free book. Let's talk about some of the stats with, in terms of the traffic that you get from Amazon, because you told me some interesting things that it was some of the best traffic,
The highest value traffic.
The highest value traffic.
I'm really into measuring things, right? Because like there's this old saying, what is it? You can't improve that which you don't measure.
Correct.
So like split testing and all this, I'm really into data. I like the data. I like being able to know where did people come from and what actions are they taking? And I like comparing it. A few years ago, I was kind of moving into this new funnel that is essentially an opt-in and then a one-time upsell after the opt-in. And I wanted to know beyond a shadow of a doubt, how much was it costing for a new customer from, or what was a new click from Facebook worth? What was a click from Google ads worth? What was a click from Bing ads worth? And what is a click from Kindle worth? So I literally duplicated out that same exact funnel for all of those different channels. And I pointed all of my traffic through the separate channels. And then I measured it. And what I saw was amazing. And it literally revolutionized my business. What I saw was that Google and Bing were by far the most expensive leads. And I really track my cost per lead because when someone's on my email list, I own that relationship and our email list has proven to work really well for us. So that's like the big number that I'm monitoring. And I was finding that for a Kindle book, I'm making money before they even reach my site generally. Yes, we have one free book. We have 4 or 5 paid books, right? So oftentimes most people find me through our paid books and I'm already earning money before they show up. When I pay ads on Facebook, I'm out of pocket to get that user. So already Kindle's winning in that situation. But what I found is that they had a higher likelihood of buying my products than people who had never heard of me before and just saw an ad on Bing, Google, or Facebook pay-per-click ads. From that data, I literally eliminated Google pay-per-click ads and Bing ads completely, and I only run the Facebook paid ads, and I had the data that showed that I was getting a better cost per lead or better like conversion rate for my leads from Kindle than I was even from Facebook and even from Google organic. And at that point, I just kind of mashed everything up into one funnel because it's a lot of work to manage 4 funnels that do the exact same thing. You want to run a split test, you got to do it like 4 times over. And it was really an empowering kind of moment to see the data clearly be like, wow. And if you think about it, there's an old marketing philosophy that it's easier to sell more to a past customer than it is to go get a new customer.
Right.
And even though Amazon owns that customer relationship, they are a customer. They bought my book. They consumed my content. So the likelihood of them buying an audio piece or a video course from me goes up because they bought my stuff and they've had a positive experience. And all the while, I'm leveraging Amazon's brand value because there's a lot of trust in Amazon. They trust that when they click that buy button on Amazon, it's not a scam. So it's a really kind of a magical situation. And there's also a lot of ways to like push your books to the top, and there's a lot of ways to become a bestseller, right? Like who isn't an Amazon bestseller? Like if you drop a book and you don't make the Amazon bestseller, like come on, it's actually pretty easy to do once you know a few of the hacks. But it's like that's going to get you that flash in the pan. But what do you do with it from there? How do you get them on an asset you own so you can build a relationship? So when book number 2 comes out, you have an audience of people who will buy book number 2, right? Like it's pretty, we have an email list. Like we brought on something like 200,000 subscribers to our email list. When my wife launches a new Kindle book and we have it on a countdown for 99 cents, and we email 200,000 people, our sales volume explodes. Like we don't even have to use any tricks or tactics. We'll go into our exact niche that we want, and we just drive enough sales from our own efforts to hit the bestsellers list.
So key.
That's right, because we have an audience of people who know, like, and trust us, and that's what we leverage. So it's like, how do you get the Amazon? Yeah, make some money on Amazon for sure, but how do you build that audience that you can control the information flow with? And I think just growing an email list, like, there's one thing I could really, really help convince. If I could walk away with your audience thinking like, I'm going to do that, it would be grow an email list, because from there you can figure it out. The back end, all the other stuff, you can figure it out eventually. But once you own that relationship, that's the key.
Do you want to touch on just a couple of tips for growing your email list?
Yeah. A dedicated page. I call it a squeeze page, maybe a landing page, a page that has no navigation up top. Very short.
You mentioned something on that. You said, do you have a button that says, all right, to get my free whatever, click here, and then it goes into enter your info, not enter your info, click here on the front? Is there a reason behind that? Because
and it comes from Robert Cialdini's book, Influence. And it's called a micro commitment. So they land on a page, there's a headline, and it's like, get my free thing. Like, so on my website, it's learn the 7-step process that took me from side hustle to $1 million business online. Yeah. Right. And I got a picture of a little ebook thing, and the button says, click here to get the course. So they click the button, and then it pops up, and that has the email point, and it says enter your email below, and I'll send it to your email right away. And then they enter their email. So the theory is they've psychologically made a micro commitment towards that goal, and people who make micro commitments are more likely to follow through than people who don't make micro commitments. Right. So they click the button thinking all they got to do is click the button to get it. That's a micro commitment. They realize they got to put their email in. Boom, they're much more likely to convert and become a lead at that point.
Cool. I got to change every single one of my lead pages just now.
Test it. Honestly, there's probably situations where having the open bar will convert better, but this is where I'm saying I love measuring things, right? Test it for yourself because it's different, but I think you will probably see a
That's interesting. Love it.
And what that means is when you find those things that bump your conversions, you're already getting XYZ number of visits to that page anyways. This just means a higher percentage of them are going to opt in. That means more leads for free, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
So it's a dedicated page, no navigation, or 2 options. They click X,
or they leave.
X, back, or they go forward, right? They either leave or they go through with that one thing that you offer them.
Right.
And then realize that these are real people, and nurture the relationship is so key. Like, actually give more value to them and make sure that thing that you're offering them is valuable, right? Like the MP3 we give away, that's an angel message. We sold that for $17. Like, literally, it's a product. We used to sell it. We decided to give it away for free. And we're very clear in our messaging that you're getting a $17 thing for free, right? And that there's perceived value. They click, they're like, wow, this is really cool. And then give them an experience. So for us, they put in the earbuds, they press play, they have a meditative experience. They're like, whoa, like they feel it, right? Like, and I use this other one, it's kind of abstract. It's like the old drug dealer sale, right? Like, there was a guy in high school and he's like, yo, here's a little nug of some green stuff. Try this. Tell me if you like it. You know where to find me. And the joke is that people try it, they get hooked, they like it, and they want his stuff. Like, it's that idea of how do you give an experience to people that helps prove that you can give them results in advance. And once you prove that, build the relationship. And at that point, you can offer different products because they'll trust you. And that's my whole brand is built on that. People get on my list. I have a free course. There's no one-click upsells. All my contents are free. Within that course, I recommend a few tools and I earn commissions when people click through and buy those tools. My approach of giving all the information for free builds a lot of trust. So when I say you really need this thing, a high percentage of people just click and trust because they trust me. They know I have their best interest in mind. They know I'm not some flash in the pan scammer trying to just make a quick buck off of them. I'm truly trying to help them achieve the goal and the desired outcome and solve the problem, if you will. So it really is about give more value. Jab, 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 right hook, as Gary Vaynerchuk would say.
Yeah, I love that quote, the jab, 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 right hook, with Gary Vaynerchuk. That's sales 101, right? You give. Yep. And eventually,
Man, it's human
Yeah.
nature 101, right? Like, let's
Yeah.
say you back up a moving truck to your house and you're carrying boxes out, and your neighbor walks over and your neighbor's like, "Yo, y'all moving?" You're like, "Yep, I am." And he's like, "Cool, let me grab some boxes." And he literally helps you fill your truck, right? He just
Mhm.
puts in the work. He just does what a good neighbor would do.
Yeah.
The moment that's done, there's something called the law of reciprocity in our world. You're like, "Damn, dog, I got at least buy you a pizza, 12 pack of
Yeah.
beer. Like,
Totally.
I got to take you to dinner. Like, here's $50." Like, you want to give back to that person who has helped you. And it's like, I don't know, is it persuasion if you're leveraging these things? Like, it's just human nature, right? So
Yeah.
to play into that, be so good that people just naturally want to buy from you. It's like, it's so fun when it works that way. You don't have to sell anything. You just get to really be valuable and help people. And that it does work. That's how we built all three of our brands that are highly successful right now.
It's awesome, man. That's awesome. Um, what are some other points that you think that would be good to touch on based on just using traffic from Amazon that we haven't really covered yet?
Well, I really liked your idea of, because I think a lot of your students and a lot of your viewers and listeners are really like, okay, I'm going to go into Amazon Kindle. I'm going to choose a niche. I'm going to ghostwrite a book, or I'm going to write a book if they're a writer, right? And they're just going
Yeah.
to kind of go through the motions, and they're going to make their first $1,000 online because that's what you
Right.
teach, and it works. It does work. So adding on the one thought of like, okay, how can I maybe get close to something I'm passionate about, like the cryptocurrency thing?
Yeah.
Some people are just so
I
engulfed with
love it. Yeah.
cryptocurrencies, right? Like, if that's you, great. Start thinking about the back end, right? Like, look around for affiliate products you could promote on the back end.
Hmm.
Or maybe you've overcome some medical challenges in your life and you want to write books about that talk to some of these medical conditions. Cool. What can you do on the back end that like overlaps with your natural talents, your natural abilities, your personal history, your family history,
Hmm.
what you enjoy doing, your hobbies, your passions, problems that you've solved. Like, when you overlap your first entrance point into the Kindle space with something that has that maybe fire of passion or that interest behind it, you're going to be more likely to want to build the list, to look for those
Right.
affiliate offers, to create more content off of Amazon. Because ultimately, I would recommend people start to realize that, in my personal opinion, Amazon is one of the best front end marketing channels in the world, because my new leads and my new customers pay to learn about me, right? They're paying Amazon
Right.
to learn about me and I get a royalty. Cool. But I take them on a journey that goes way beyond those books. And the reason we take them on that journey is because my wife, we love meditation and spirituality. We've been building content, publishing content for almost 10 years on the topic. So we have a lot that we have a long journey we can help people go on
Hmm.
because we're passionate about it. If we weren't
Yeah.
passionate about it, if it was just like, oh, I'm gonna write a book on meditation, then I'm gonna write a book on vegan cooking but I don't care about any of those things, there's not going to be that willingness to do the long-term follow
Yeah.
through. And if you think the long game as you're starting, you can potentially set yourself up for significantly more success. And I would even say a quicker path to that kind of prized 10K a month mark that I think so many
Yeah.
people want to get to. Yes, you can get there, random niches, random books, full on work the system to that point. You absolutely can get there and it will work for you. But if you build it to where you can build a list and you have some passion and you have something kind of lined up with it and you have the potential for a back end, you can get there more quickly and it'll be more fun. And you'll like your life when you get there more.
It's
It
more
won't feel like a job.
sustainable.
It's way
It's
more
also
sustainable.
right because you're not relying on Amazon anymore. Right.
Because that
That-
game's changing. I've seen it change. Like I
yeah.
said, when I started, I could give things away for free and push
Totally.
myself to the top of the page.
Yeah.
Oh, easy, right? In about
Amazon's
2013, they
always
stopped
changing.
that. Always changing. And at
Yeah.
some point, like, they just did a huge review delete, like maybe
Yeah.
a year ago, right? They realized people are gaming the review.
Hmm.
And that was more of a physical
Yeah.
product issue. So they removed all those. Like, they're always testing their
Yeah.
algorithm. And at some point, the reviews aren't going to push you up to the top anymore. Little review circles are going to stop working.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, all these little hacks and tricks are going to stop working.
Hmm.
And if you're 100% in on Amazon, that could F you.
Yeah.
But if you've been building your asset off of Amazon that you own, you will weather that storm.
100%, man. 100%. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, hey, let's wrap things up. Thank you
Sweet.
so much
Cheers, man.
for taking some time. This was phenomenal. I can't wait to start editing this and going through it and writing down some more notes because
Nice.
this was just great. You touched on a lot of points that I hadn't even thought about before. So I'm really excited to be able to bring this to all of you. Hey, boost our egos, boost Miles' ego. Hit the thumbs up for us. show some love in the comments. Please let us know what you liked about this, and any questions that you have. I'm sure he'll pop in and check those out. And all of Miles' links will be in the description as well, so you can go head over to his channel and check out his stuff. It's some of the best free content that you could possibly find on YouTube on so many different topics. So thanks once again, bud. We will
Cheers, man.
hopefully have you back again
Yep.
sometime in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks again for your time.